You know, like I'm headed to work this morning, right? And you know why I'm headed to work? Because I live here in the United Slaves of America. Because I am a debt slave. Yeah, and see, it's the same thing as back in the 17 to 1800s, slavery. That's what it is. It's just that you're a debt slave. And instead of the plantation, Mr. Johnson plantation, instead of Mr. Brown plantation, or Mr. Green's son, or Mr. Jefferson, the Jefferson plantation, and instead of the Smith plantation, I work for the ILA plantation. And see, some of you work for the AT&T plantation. But see, they don't call them plantation no more, so you don't think that you are a debt slave or work on a plantation, because they call them corporations now. Yeah, I got to go to the ILA corporation, but they just changed the words. To me, it's still a plantation. And a lot of you may disagree with me. You may say, well, I work the Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola not a plantation. That's what you may say. Or you may say, I work for the Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi-Cola not a plantation. Well, if it's not a plantation, then don't you get up today and go there today. If it's not a plantation, when tomorrow comes, you say you work there, don't go there today. You think you have liberty. You think that you're free. If you are free, then don't go to the UPS plantation. If you're on that UPS plantation, don't go, because they're simply corporations. And these corporations, or like the Kroger plantation or the Walmart plantation, you think that you're free. You think that you're no different than the slaves back in the 1800s. You're no different than what's back in the 1700s. And you stand in line for your food just as they did. When they finished picking the cotton, or when they finished picking the sugar cane, they had to go stand in line for their food. And the next time you go to the grocery store, look around you, and you'll see a bunch of debt slaves. All of them right there standing in line for food. And then you go to pay your water bill if you think you're free. If you think you're not here in the United Slaves of America, if you think you're not a debt slave, well then how do you get your water? Go to pay your water bill. You'll see all of the debt slaves standing in line to get water, standing in line to get food. If you're not a debt slave, if you don't work for a plantation, and then if you're not one, then what else are you? So stay home today if you got liberty and justice and freedom. And when tomorrow comes, stay home if you got freedom and liberty, and see how that works out for you. Take a trip to Paris or France. You're free. You don't have to be here in America. Go to England or someplace, because you're free. And when you get back here, you go sit up under the bridge where all the other free people are, or you go sit up downtown on the sidewalk when you sleep tonight, because you're in debt to the realtor plantation. You're in debt to the electric company, or the electric plantation. All those are nothing but plantations, but they call them corporations now. But if you think that you don't work for a plantation, like I said, instead of going to work like me, turn around and go back home and say that I'm free. I'm not a slave. Tell yourself that, and see how life will mount for you. I'm right here by a bridge now. You'll probably be under there in the next 3 days, because a plantation, these corporations are no different than a plantation. You got to be there. You're a debt slave. You're not free. You're here in the United Slaves of America, and you're a part of the plantation that you work on. All the other slaves get there early in the morning when you get there, and you have to be there. You don't have no choice. You got to be there. And if you don't have to be there, then don't go today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and see what'll be waiting for you. See if the city plantation won't be. All the city plantation workers will be there. Those slaves from the city will come around and they'll turn your water off. Those slaves for the city has the biggest plantation. All of us work for that city plantation. All of us stand in line, and they'll come and they'll cut your lights off quicker than you can light a match. You're nothing but a debt slave. That's all you are, is a debt slave, indentured to your life. You're not free. You think that you're free, but you're not. And that's why they said, you just come back in the day, said, let my people go. Well, your people can't let. You'll run back to the plantation. That's the difference in the slaves today. You go and be free for about 4 or 5 days. You'll run back to that plantation and say, please, master, please, I won't do it no more. Please let me come back to the plantation. You'll run back to the Pepsi-Cola plantation. You'll run back, get up that next day. You try to take 5 or 6 days and just say, I'm free. I don't have to go to work. I don't have to be there. I'm not no debt slave. And you'll run back to the knocking on the door, and all the other slaves say, master say you can't come back here no more, and they'll go get the police to escort you off that plantation, and you'll run to another plantation down the street to Mr. Johnson plantation or Mr. Greenson or Mr. the Greenboro plantation, and you beg them, please, I'll pick cotton, I'll pick potatoes, whatever you want me to do, because you're nothing more than what you were in 1700s. You're nothing more than what you were in the 1800s. They just don't change the words on you. Instead of a plantation, you're now working for the corporation. It's the same thing. They get all the money. They get all the surplus. It's theirs. Those are your masters now. The corporations. Those are your plantations now. Thanks for listening.